Hello, happy June. Oh my god, it's June. Why am I so taken aback every time it's a new month? I guess it's true what they say, the older you get, the faster time goes. Or the whole time flies when you're having fun. So I guess in that case, if both of those are true, getting old is super fun. So if you're new, hi, I've been pretty good about doing these bullet journal videos monthly. It's less of a plan with me kind of video and more of a listen to me ramble a stream of consciousness while I time-lapse this month's spread. But we'll call it a plan with me for the algorithm. These videos don't usually get very many views, but they're really fun and therapeutic for me, so I'm gonna keep doing them. Probably. No promises. And as always, fuck perfect. Let's begin. So I always like to do a recap of the previous month before I start a new month, just to really lock in those memories. Ever since I was little, I've had this obsession with documenting everything. I've kept a daily journal since I was in elementary school. I have over 50,000 pictures in my phone that I can't delete. I post to 3 separate Instagram accounts and have 2 podcasts talking about things that I've learned in life, and I literally vlog almost every aspect of my life for the internet. I probably overshare, but that's a conversation for my therapist. We'll just put a pin in that discussion. But yeah, so bye May. Some of the best memories were from last month, but not this bubble theme. Glad to be done with that. Bye. So this month I thought I'd make up for it with a watercolor. Watercolor takes a long time for me, so I don't do it for every spread. I only do it if I'm in a creative mood, if I get to be alone and uninterrupted, husbands and cats, and if I have like the whole day. So luckily I did this on a holiday. Shout out to Memorial Day weekend, what? And I drank not 1, but 2 strawberry margaritas while doing this. Shout out to my drink works, what? The color of the month for me this month is dark blue or indigo, so I felt like a peacock would be fitting. Dark blue also represents adjustments, so like reviewing things that aren't working for you anymore in life and then making a change, which will definitely come into play while doing this theme actually. So I did a pen test to see what kind of color palette I wanted to work with, but I was super indecisive and what's new. I've also never attempted to draw or paint a peacock before, so I Google searched an image to see what the basic shapes and colors were, and I wanted to make him really cartoony, but he just wanted to be more serious, so I let him live his life. I'm not gonna try to control this peacock. After getting the basic shape down with pencil, I did not know how to approach this. So I drank a lot of margarita and started just getting some colors on the page. Again, that's why I start with the fuck perfect mantra, because I have a tendency to overanalyze if I don't just start something. Cause like, I don't want to make mistakes or something. I don't know, it's dumb. It's like the only way I've ever ended up learning anything is by making mistakes. So fuck your plan, just start. I did get really frustrated with this because it wasn't clear to me how to make what was in my head come to life, but I just kept adding color and using smaller brushes to add detail. And eventually I figured out that I didn't necessarily need to be exact with anything. I just wanted the strokes to match the feeling I get when I think of wispy peacock feathers. Yeah, I was like a margarita and a half in at that point. I was painting with my feelings, and you'll see. Anyway, back to my therapeutic stream of consciousness session. So today is normally my therapy day, but my therapist took the holiday off, so I haven't gotten to talk to her about it yet. But I've been in my feelings a lot lately, and all of them related to time relevance, but not in my usual I'm stressed every day because I feel like time is running out, I'm not getting everything done, but more in like a big picture life way. Oh yeah, we might be getting kind of deep today, so if you can't handle it, just mute and put on some like chilled cow or something while you watch. I don't know. Go do that. Okay, so now that all the big old babies are tuned out, I mentioned memories earlier. Okay, so I've been listening to a lot of 90s playlists lately, as one does. It was literally all I listened to when I was remodeling both the gym in our house and the kitchen pantry area, which took quite a few days. There's a few videos on that if you want to watch them. I loved how they turned out. But anyways, the 90s music is all I listened to while I was doing this. And there's something that 90s music does to me. Since I guess I was a child of the 90s, it opens up this whole Pandora's box of feelings that maybe I haven't processed all the way yet. Like on the one hand, I have this deep nostalgia, like nostalgia so bad that it almost hurts. Not because I miss that period of my life per se, but I almost miss the way the world was back then. You know, I miss the type of music that played. I missed the culture back then. It was just a lot simpler in my mind and my memories. There was no social media, we played outside, we used our imaginations. I mean, we also played a lot of Nintendo 64, but there wasn't this constant bombardment of like the worst and best things in the world in your face every day. So I feel like these were simpler times. And like when I think about the 90s, I think of like rollerblading, not listening to anything. You're just rollerblading around your neighborhood, you know? So I feel like those were like simpler times, and then the pain of it never being that way ever again. That my future kids might never know a life without a cell phone in their pocket with access to all of the information in the world. So yeah, I like remember this like lightness, but I also simultaneously feel this heavy sense of loneliness. Like my childhood in the 90s was also very lonely. I watched a lot of TV. I formed attachment issues to TV characters because they felt like real friends. That sounds really sad, but it's true. We actually went to a Friends, the TV series reunion event, which exacerbated these feelings further. And then like listening to certain songs from the 90s takes me back to that place of how simple everything was, but also of feeling so incredibly alone. In fact, I would say that this current period of my personal life, 2021, June 2021, is actually the most free and light I've ever felt. Like the most surrounded by love I've ever been. So I don't know why I romanticize the 90s like it was some golden era. It was different, but not necessarily better. It was familiar, but like not necessarily ideal. So that led me to getting lost in thoughts about how much I love my current life. Like I'm so incredibly grateful for everything I get to experience every day. I don't take a minute of it for granted. Like I never thought I would have a life like this, and I'm just so overwhelmed with gratitude that like sometimes it's hard for me to even express all of the feelings because they're ineffable, if you will. Like I can't describe them. I can't like let them out. It's like teeming out of me. Like I own a home that I really love. I'm doing what I love for work with a partner I'm deeply in love with. I know, vomit, sorry. We just celebrated 8 years together, and I swear to God, I love him more than I've ever loved a person in my entire being. We have 4 kitties, a robot that makes cocktails, an inflatable hot tub. I mean, we're living the dream, okay? My family is healthy. I mean, you know, like last year was super tough, but it brought to the surface all of these things I'm so grateful for. Okay, pause thoughts for a second. So I wasn't cool with the lack of texture on this peacock's body because my dude has feathers on his chest, okay? It's not just the big tail feathers. So I just kind of stippled all over the place until I felt okay about it. And then I worked with his thick ass thighs. Hey, thick thighs save lives, buddy. He knows it. Also, peacocks are kind of like turkeys on LSD. Let's move on. Back to me and my mess of thoughts. So, okay, I'm feeling like all of this goodness, right, for my current life. But in the back of my mind, I'm also sad because I know how fleeting it all is, you know? It's like, I don't get to hold on to this and I don't want it to go away. I love it. Like, I love it so much. I'm so like in love with life right now, and I don't want that feeling to go away. And so listening to the 90s music and feeling like that was just a few years ago when in reality that was 30 years ago further solidifies this notion of how short life is and how small these windows are and how precious youth is. Oh my God, I sound super old. I know. I am old. And in 30 years, I'm gonna be like, man, I was so young back then. But anyway, I've been trying to really grapple all that. Like, what do I do with all these feelings? I keep trying to make my brain like lock in these memories every day because I want to remember it all so much. Like, I want to live in this era of my life forever. It's not like, I don't know. It's not like we're bazillionaires. It's not like we're millionaires. It's not like we're living in a fancy house, but I love this part of life and I don't want it to end. But I also know that there's a limit. It could get better, but it could get worse. I don't know. But one thing's for sure, that there will inevitably be a time where I don't have my whole family anymore, where I don't have all 4 of my cats, when maybe finances take a hit, when I don't have the time freedom to ponder about time relevance, when life is, being life. So I'm like trying to trap all of it right now, like keep it in an airtight bottle, but then knowing in the depths of my mind that it's not really mine to keep, that everything eventually just like washes away and there's not really any control I have over it. So the best thing to do, I guess, is just try to stay present and stay grateful. Is this a downer of a video? I don't know. You can blame my therapist for all these unprocessed emotions, and also Alannis Morissette. Oh, and Fiona Apple. These bitches with their raw feelings processed through music. Oh my God. I love them. Anyway, I hated the way I did my goal page this month. It just didn't work out, but that's okay. I got to play. I thought maybe I could do some small feathers, but it just didn't work. I did my habit tracker, which I'm really going to try to be better at this month. I fell off of a little bit last month because there was just so much going on. And I kind of like the way this month at a glance turned out. But it did take a lot of time I don't normally spend on this monthly calendar because I barely use this monthly calendar, but it's there. I do like seeing things from like an eagle's eye view of what the month looks like and how many days I have to actually put things on if like something suddenly comes up, you know. This spread took a lot of time. I hope I haven't set the bar too high. Like, literally don't get used to this for me. I usually like to keep it really simple doodles, but sometimes this happens. As long as that doesn't turn into expectations, we are good. I also tried something different with my weekly spread by separating the side into daily tasks, weekly tasks, and extra tasks instead of separating it into life and work like I usually do. But I actually decided I don't like it. Daily tasks are already on the habit tracker, and weekly tasks, I'd still rather be separated into work and life. But yeah, the rest of it was the same. And then, like, if you don't know, I usually divide it into 3 segments. So I usually divide it into 3 segments, this top portion being the morning of each day, the middle is the afternoon, and the nighttime is on the bottom. That way I can kind of see at a glance like what parts of my days are open. Sometimes it feels like I have too many things to do, and so I just like to see like where the openings are. So that's it. Hello June, month of adjustments. You know it's Mercury retrograde right now too, and she is fierce. Okay, do not travel right now. Do not buy anything expensive. Keep receipts and paper trails. Wear a condom and just everyone lay low. Lay low from her. This bitch is crazy. Anyway, thanks for watching. You can like this video if you want to see more of these or not, whatever. I don't care. I mean, I would like it, but if you don't want to, I understand. Shout out to Patreon for letting me do these, and bye.
It's just funny how in some degree funny people seem to fucking reek like CK's other hand that's not touching on the telephone. Keep it bouncing like the hands upon a motherfucking metronome. Ballad out like let it go. Singing Elsa touched my testicles.
Damn.